opened up my heart. I got one cat doing some hip hop with me.
Is that right?
Hey, the little vocal thing with me, man. You can't ignore it after all the years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to take everything, get the good out of it.
No. Okay, you say hip hop. What do you believe? Right. Okay. What do you believe hip hop actually started from?
I mean, hip hop is like.
Do you think it came from rappers, or did it come from jazz or rock or what?
Man, that's from the James Brown, man. It's like James Brown, and hip hop is pretty much an industrial name, I think. And what it describes to me, in my mind, is like the defunct. It's kind of defunct the music actually, because it became a machine sound.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Instead of where the funk was like this here,
right.
They made it kind of a little bit simpler and made it like a little bit easier.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things about it I ain't even willing to discuss on.
Because what I understand, as far as the beats concerned, a lot of that stuff came from people like Miles Davis. Those rhythms, those hip hop drum styles. And
what Miles did, man. Miles was an innovator. I won't say he was a creator. He was more like an innovator, man. You know, like I was in Japan when Miles came out with some of his stuff. Like what was that with the organ sound, the acid rock, acid jazz.
Right, yeah. Because I think some of his influence. Him and Jimi Hendrix was hanging around for a while, and him and Sly Stone.
Right.
He started picking up that because he said jazz it wasn't lucrative enough. And he wasn't making no money because everything that went commercial.
Right.
So he started confusing that. Right.
Actually, Bitches Brew. I think the original concept of that when it came out, that was supposed to be Hendrix playing on it.
Is that right?
Yeah, Hendrix and Miles was the original.
Now I remember.
fusion.
I remember when that came out. I think it was around 71, 72.
Yeah.
And when I heard that, I said, "Man, this cat's he's out there, man." I mean, I listen to a lot of jazz artists, but I said this is different.
That's innovation.
I mean, his stuff. I mean, it will take the listener somewhere. You know. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to call it the Twilight Zone, man, you can call it that. But it took me somewhere. It was different from. That's why I say Miles was one of my favorite because he was set. I would set him apart from a lot of other jazz artists. Not to say he was so much better than anybody else, but he expressed himself.
Yeah, he's an artist.
Right. He's an artist. That's different.
He's an artist in the sense of like I said, innovate like a painter.
Right.
You know what I mean? He said,
exactly.
I don't use that kind of paint.
Okay. You know what?
Let me use some of that.
Now that you said that,
mix it up.
Now that you put it that way. He reminds me. Are you hip to Salvador Dali? He does all this weird art, man. I mean, like when you look at it, it looks real spacey. Look like you might be in the outer limits of something like that.
If I seen it, I'm probably familiar with it.
Right. Well, that's how Miles reminded me of, man. Okay. When you said artist, you know right. that. Yeah, because I mean, he just did a whole different thing, man. You know, you couldn't put him in no class, no particular genre.
He brought this element to the music. Miles, the Hendrix I heard didn't read and write and shit like that.
Right, exactly.
All right, but Miles, by him being such an academically valid dude,
right,
stepping off into something to say boom, 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 it was cool.
Yeah.
You know, where a lot of the what do you call it, the artists, man, you know, the kind of like my pop, for instance. My pop would never play an electric bass.
Okay.
He's an upright bass player.
Oh, your father was upright bass. Is that right?
Yeah, he played Fender. You know, upright. He wouldn't play a Fender.
Okay.
He wouldn't touch a Fender.
Pure traditionalist.
Right, pure traditionalist, you know. So Miles, that's where he stepped away from the traditionalists and helped open up, you know, make it a little softer for those who want to, you know, not be that.